Yo, what's up guys, Zach or Immortal here, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by once again. As always, today guys, we are jumping back into the world of Call of Duty World War II to talk about a crazy update that is coming to the game today. In fact, at the time of watching this video, depending on how soon you're watching this video after it went live, the update could be live right now. Make sure to go hop on your console and check and see if it's live. But guys, this is a huge update. A bunch of new things are being added to the game, a whole bunch of fixes and tweaks. The main one being ADS times on certain weapons, which has been a very hot topic in the community for quite some time. Honestly, since the launch of the game, people thought SMGs needed a better ADS time, sniper ADS time needed to be nerfed, all sorts of crazy controversies surrounding the ADS times in World War II. And today with this update, it's being tweaked. Sledgehammer posted yesterday over on Reddit talking about this brand new update, and I figured I'd run through all of the things that have been fixed or tweaked in this update with you guys in this video today. So, like I said, the main focus of this update is ADS times, ADS transition times, ADS from sprints, and ADS sprint out times. So for starters, we've got the SMGs. Probably the hottest topic when it comes to ADS times. People think that the SMG sprint out times, the SMG ADS times need to be much faster, and for those people wanting that, they got their wish. The patch notes here say the SMGs have a buffed base ADS time and a buffed base ADS in from sprint time, and then in parentheses they have ADS sprint out times match ADS from sprint times. For the rifles, we have a buffed base ADS transition time, but not ADS from sprint times and sprint out times, in an effort to maintain a difference between SMG and AR class playstyles. So the SMGs are basically going to play much more rush friendly, I guess, now with the buffed ADS times there. For snipers, the Kar98K and the M1903, both of them have a nerfed ADS transition time, which is a slight quickscoping nerf, which is gonna be probably controversial, I would assume. A lot of people are going to be happy about this. At the same time, a lot of people are going to be upset about this. But interesting to see if this hotfix sticks or if they revert back to what the snipers were before. For the LMGs, they all have a buffed base ADS time. Then they also put on here, note, base ADS times for SMGs are faster than rifles, and rifles are faster than LMGs. In other words, there is now more of a distinction between class playstyles, which is cool. It's nice to have the varying gameplay between the classes there, between SMGs, rifles, LMGs. They shouldn't all feel the same, and I'm glad that Sledgehammer is making a note to make sure that they don't all feel the same. In terms of weapons, you have the MP40. It's got buffed recoil in an effort to have a more competitive SMG on par with the PPSH. For the FG42, they nerfed the fire rate so that the damage output is more in line with the other weapons in its class. Basically, they're just trying to level it out with like the STG and the bar, in my opinion. The SVT40, they buffed recoil in an effort to make it more manageable to shoot down range and give a better contrast to the M1 Garand, and they also nerfed hipfire spread to match the M1 Garands in an effort to decrease the ability to quickly kill opponents at closer ranges. The M1A1, they buffed the fire rate in an effort to make it a more competitive choice amongst the other rifles, then they also put it's still slightly slower than the Ww2. And then, speaking of the Ww2, they buffed the fire rate in an effort to make it more competitive against other rifles, and they also buffed the recoil, and they also buffed the clip size to 12 rounds per clip instead of 10. A lot happening with the Ww2. Didn't realize it was such a popular weapon or such a heavy focus point for fixes. And then you got the M30 Luftwaffe drilling. They buffed the damage per bullet to be on par with the recent sawed-off shotgun changes, so that this shotgun now has a more automatic 2-shot kill and a slightly more forgiving 1-shot kill. They also buffed the shotgun damage range so that it's now more feasible to finish off an opponent who won't die from a rifle bullet. And then finally, for the Luftwaffe, they buffed the ADS spread to allow for greater accuracy when shooting enemies that are outside of the obvious shotgun range while ADSing. And then finally, the last update for this little patch here, the last fix for this update rather, is the toggle action, where they have buffed the clip size to be 8 shots per clip instead of 6 in an effort to allow players to have more success with this weapon. And they also nerfed the ADS spread to be more on par with other shotguns. A lot happening in this update, mainly focusing on the ADS times. It'll be interesting to see how these play out. Let me know what you guys guys think. Do you guys agree with the SMG ADS buff and the sniper ADS nerf? It'll be interesting to see how those play out. Definitely will be controversial, but I'm interested in seeing what comes of it, you know, how the community reacts. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up, slap that like button, and if you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with those channel notifications on. I will catch you guys tomorrow for some brand new content. Until then, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.